Hi there, today's quick update. I've been busy working on the video side of things while Jake works on the audio in the Pro Tools session. And I came up with something quite interesting, which is I was working on pages and pages and pages of calculations, as you can see, about positioning videos inside the frame and what was the best way to do it and the best kind of look with a little bit of a gap in between. This one that you can see up at the moment, I've got up as a 64 frame template, and I'm just starting to upload the video files out. It's going to be interesting to see where I reach the limits of Premiere Pro. And I don't think it's probably going to be possible to have 64 video tracks going, but I can kind of maybe do them in blocks of 16 or worst case 8 or 12. But we'll see where we get to with that. But I've found a way to save a huge amount of time, and so I'm going to show you what that is. It's basically super simple once I'd actually kind of worked out how to do it. It's a way of having the edge margins in here. You put the screen size in, and then depending on what kind of array you want, so whether you want a 2x2, 3x3, 4x4, etc., you simply put in these calculations. So to give you an example, I'll show you what this is, and then you can reproduce this yourself if it's at all useful to you. So first up, how do you work out the slot size? Well, you take the X dimension of the screen and 2 of the edge margins, and then you divide it by the number of blocks you want in the array going across. It's the same for the Y. And then when you're calculating the center position, which is what Premiere Pro references the video, you lock it to the center position, X and Y coordinates. So to get that, it's incredibly simple. You say, right, I'm taking the edge margin plus the first slot with the slot size that we've just calculated, divide that by 2, that first slot, so you're going halfway along the first slot, plus the edge margin. And then basically we say this array number minus 2, so in this case it's 0 because we're on the first slot, and then you multiply that by the slot size. So here it's 0 times the slot size because we're in the first slot. If we were doing this on the second slot, well, I'll show you, then that would be here, it would reference array 3, so we've got 3 minus 2 is 1 times the slot size. So it adds in the slot size, and then we go halfway into the next slot. So it's actually incredibly simple, but once I'd worked out how to do it, it saved me probably about 3 or 4 hours of just writing tables and making small mistakes and checking them, and etc, etc. So that's kind of useful. So that's today's little trick. As you can see, I've been getting more videos in from the players, which is absolutely fantastic and really wonderful. Seeing and hearing all of the individual players' performances alone before they kind of go across to Jake and make it into the Pro Tools session now that he's taken that over. So lots of fun, it's all going well. So I'm going to dive back into my Premiere Pro session. I'm going to keep you updated as I go along, any little problems that I come across. But I'm going to enjoy actually splitting this up into little sections and groups of videos, because that's actually going to help me, once I've bounced all of that out, that's going to help me use those as building blocks to try and make a really interesting looking video where you see lots of different sections of the orchestra at the same time. So we'll see how it goes. Catch you later. So I just discovered something that didn't totally work in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, one of my transitions, where I'd left the basses in when they weren't playing. And in order, because I'm working with kind of maybe 14, 15 video tracks at a time, in order to strip that out, I've had to go back 6 versions and rebounce each of the kind of collated version for each subsequent version and import it into the next version, which is kind of proving to be fun. Anyway, this is all a fantastic learning experience, and I will go into more detail on how I've done this in the next video, but just thought I'd update you with that little gem of fun. Well, that was pretty nuts. Many, many hours of video editing later, it is finally done. Jake's been working for the last few days on the mix, and it's gone from what frankly sounded like 90 people recorded with a tiny, tiny phone microphone positioned a couple of feet away to something that sounds like a studio recording. I'm absolutely mind-boggled at how good he's made it sound. It is amazing. So the next episode on this, we're going to go into it with Jake, and he's going to show us what he did to make this sound like a studio recording. But it's just absolutely great. I'm so excited to share this with you. I feel like a child a few days before Christmas. So keep watching this space.